If you've been struggling with Start Over Monday for the last 5 years, that means you would have started over 260 times. You literally would have said or thought to yourself, I'll just get started on Monday. I'll wait till the weekend's over. I'm gonna get back on track next Monday. 260 times. What would have happened if 5 years ago you said, I'm done starting over Monday? What would have happened? What's going on, team? I hope you are well. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Dieting from the Inside Out, where outer work without inner work just doesn't work. And I'm so excited to come at you with another new episode. Now, this week's is a solo episode, but I really have a special story for you. I have a special story I want to talk to you about that I think will leave a lasting impression on you and really put things into perspective around changing your life now. And it may, for some of you, just be that kick in the rear to make you realize that you've got to change this right now, and this will help you get out of your own way. But I have a special story to tell around it from something that happened to me last night in jiu-jitsu. So I want to press pause there because before we get into all of that, I do want to say thank you to the sponsors of the show. Sponsor number one is Flex Pro Meals. And if you guys know me, you know I love my Flex Pros because at the end of the day, it just makes things so much more convenient and doable having meals that show up to your house every single month. Don't get me wrong. It's one of those things where with Flex Pro, it's not every single meal I eat is theirs. But for me, just having them on deck and in the fridge for when I'm on the go, when time's in a bind, and I just need some convenience, it's right there because the food tastes amazing. It's made by a chef. It comes right to my door, and it's cheaper than going to a drive-through. And it's going to keep my goals way more in line, more than a drive-through. So it's so nice to have. So if that's kind of your cup of tea and you really could use some convenience, you know you spend too much money on the drive-through or the gas station, things like that, and enough where it's impeding your goals, definitely see what Flex Pro's got going on. And if you use my code Hamilton Trained at checkout, you'll save like 20%, which is pretty legit. But you should absolutely check them out. And then sponsor number two is First Form. I've got another First Form shirt on. That's at this point, most of my normal t-shirts are all First Form clothes, but big thank you if I could talk, big thank you to First Form. Cause I say at every show that supplements are not the end all be all, because at the end of the day, supplements are exactly what their term is. It's a supplement to supplement what you're doing, what you're not getting with food. Because at the end of the day, supplements are not the end all be all, but if you are missing certain aspects of your program and like what's actually going to get you to where you want to be, and you're not getting it from food, supplements are the next go-to. So if you're struggling to get your protein in, or if you're always inflamed, or you're always tired, or you're not eating enough fruits and vegetables, all these different things that most people could raise their hand to, that's what supplements are for. So where you're not getting what you need with food, so that's when we supplement. But not all supplements are created equal. A lot of supplements are wrong. They're not safe. They have too many additives. They have an ungodly amount of filler in them where it's almost to a problematic level, or the supplements are made in someone's basement. So that's why we work with First Form, because I think you should be getting quality where you're spending your money at. Because again, not all supplements are created equal. So that's why we work with First Form, because I trust them, and it's what I suggest. It's what I take. It's what we suggest to clients, because that's what's going to help you the most in this crazy market of the supplement world. So definitely check them out if you're looking to upgrade what you're taking or to get into filling some of those gaps. And I do have a video in the description of like, if you're newer to supplements and not quite sure where to get started, just to kind of give you a little bit of a recap. But otherwise, let's get into today's episode. Now, with this episode, I don't really have notes. Like I don't have a whole lot of notes in general when I record, but I literally have none on my screen right now, if you could see it. But I want to tell you a story, and then there's a lesson inside the story that I think will help you. So I don't know how long this episode's going to be, but I think this is going to help you a lot. Because this hit me when I was in the bathroom last night, ironically. So let me just tell a story. So as so many of you know, jiu-jitsu is one of the things that I love the most outside of, it's like one of the few hobbies that I have that I just pour into and I get so much joy out of. Because for those that don't know, whenever the way I came about getting to jiu-jitsu was because I realized I needed a hobby. And because, to give you perspective, when I started building my business, building Hamilton Trained and the coaching program and all this stuff, it was a side hustle. So like my hobby was building this coaching business thing. Well, then years later, my coaching business thing, it took off. It was no longer a side hustle anymore. It's like, it's a full-time thing, and now with employees and all this stuff, and it's grown, which is amazing. But I found myself without a hobby again. Like I would have my normal day-to-day and start the side hustle hobby of the business. Well, then years later, now the business is this big thing, which is amazing. But I'm like, man, I just don't have a hobby. So I got thinking to myself, I go, well, when was the last time I just enjoyed something for the sake of enjoying it? And in my mind went straight to the mats. I grew up doing martial arts. It was my first coaching job, ironically. But I loved training and being on the mats and grappling and things like that. So my thing is, if I was going to pick up a hobby, I would like to have a hobby. My thought was, what can I do that I love doing that helps keep me in shape, that's active, that has growth attached to it, that I can grow through it? So jiu-jitsu came to mind. So I'm like, okay, well, that's when I got started in jiu-jitsu, and it's been game over ever since. I've been loving it since day one. Well, here's where the story comes in. Last night, at the time of recording this, we were at class, like 20 of us on the mats or whatever. And one of our coaches, he said, hey, all right, before everyone starts leaving, we need to recognize a couple people, because one of the things our academy does is they have like these little pins, that like a t-shirt pin, or you put it on your bag or whatever, for training anniversaries. So, like 1 year training anniversary, 2 years, 3 years, and so on. Well, they gave one out to one of the other guys, that hit like his year of training. And then, he called my name. And I got my 5-year pin. Like, holy shit, 5 years. Like, I feel like I just got back on the mats. You know what I mean? But 5 years has gone by. And like, when did that happen? Like, I was surprised when he said my name at the 5-year, and I'm like, what? What's crazy is 5 years went by like that. So it was cool. So I got my 5-year pin and all this stuff, and we trained and all this stuff. And then I went home and I mentioned it to Shelby. I'm like, hey, I got my 5-year training anniversary pin. And even she was like, that just doesn't seem right. But what's crazy is it did happen. It's been 5 years since I started jiu-jitsu, and things are totally different for me now. So this is where the lesson came from for this. So I got home, I put my training bag down, like I take my, gi out, my uniform, and I throw it in the washer or dryer. And I went to the bathroom. And I'm sitting there thinking, I go, what if I waited? What if I waited to get started in jiu-jitsu 5 years ago? What if I waited till like life slowed down, or waited till Monday to start, or waited till, things were less stressful? What if I never got started? I would not be where I'm at in life right now. I would not have the skill sets I have right now. Because here's the thing, because of jiu-jitsu, I'm a different human, right? Like, I will go down on paper and say jiu-jitsu makes me a better man. It makes me a better human. My confidence is in a place it's never been before. My emotional stability is in a place it's never been before. As an entrepreneur alone, and someone who has a lot of high stress and high anxiety, like jiu-jitsu helps teach you how to handle that when you have someone sitting on your chest trying to choke you, right? I have a level of fitness that I've never had before. I have friendships that I would never have had, and that some of my favorite people in the world are my training partners, that I would have never met if I didn't go to jiu-jitsu. I have all these things, let alone like, just from jiu-jitsu alone, I have the skill set now, from a physical fitness side, from a combative side, from a self-defense side, if we're being honest, that I never would have had before. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still a work in progress. I'm still learning. But if I didn't commit and sign up for jiu-jitsu and get started back then, and I would have waited, I would not be where I'm at today. I would not have this huge skill set. I would not have the confidence and the happiness and the mental fortitude that I have now. I would not have all these assets and these skills if I would have waited. Right? So for me, it would, because if we look back at it, the last 5 years also haven't been convenient or great timing either. I mean, everything from like the global pandemic, COVID was a thing, right? To I run a pretty big business. I travel a lot for work. I've had dogs get sick and hospitalized. I blew out my knee completely and had reconstructive surgery. Couldn't even train for 6 months because I was in physical therapy and off. Having friendships, having a personal life, being married. Like, life craziness. So life over the last 5 years, at least for me, hasn't been the most convenient. If anything, I've got more shit going on. Like my brothers have had kids, and so now I'm an active uncle in their life because I love my nieces. So it's one of those things where like I've always got stuff going on. And the last 5 years, again, hasn't been convenient. And a lot's happened that I could have said, I'll wait till life slows down. I'll wait till this passes. I'll wait till the holidays are over. But I didn't. I said, I'm going to start and I'll figure the rest out, because that's what we do. That's what we as humans do. We have shit happen. You know, you may be sitting there thinking, I don't have time for anything. But all of a sudden, if your kid got a rare form of cancer and you had to carve out 2 hours of your day to feed them, you would make it happen, because that's what we do. We make happen what is our priority. So for me, it was one of those things, it hit me when I got home. I'm like, what if I waited? I would not have what I have now. So here's the lesson for you. How many times over the last what if you would have got the help that you needed and gotten your shit together 5 years ago? There may be people listening to this that you're like, wow, I've been struggling for weight loss and getting to where I want to be for as long as Jared's been doing jiu-jitsu, or even longer. What if 5 years ago you could help? You got the help that you needed. One of the most common things that I hear from our clients who come out on the other side, they go, I wish I would have found you in this program and your team years ago, decades ago, and I would not be have all of the struggles. Because the truth is, if you would have gotten your shit together, this is some real talk because I love you. If you would have gotten your shit together 5 years ago, would have gotten the right kind of help, would have started doing things sustainably, would have made the right decisions, would have committed to yourself, you probably right now would have had the weight off for a long time now. You probably would be happy. You would probably have all of your clothes in your closet fit. You would have hundreds, if not thousands of more memories and experiences that you don't have right now because of like weight loss, or because like, oh, I'm going to just stay home, or whatever the case is. You would have had if you have kids, you would have had 5 more years of amazing examples setting for your kids, because they've been watching you every single day for the last 5 years, right? You would be happier. You would have had you would be confident as fuck right now. Like, think about that. If you would have gotten your shit together 5 years ago, where would things be at right now? It would be cool if you could have had this talk 5 years ago, right? And this is my thing. I just want today to be a wake-up call for you. My sole intention is with today's podcast episode is I just want this to be a wake-up call. I want this to be a big, like, holy shit, he's right. How many, especially for you Start Over Monday people that listen to the show, if you've been struggling with Start Over Monday for the last 5 years, that means you would have started over 260 times. You literally would have said or thought to yourself, I'll just get started on Monday. I'll wait till the weekend's over. I'm going to get back on track next Monday. 260 times. What would have happened if 5 years ago you said, I'm done starting over Monday? What would have happened? I'm telling you, you wouldn't, and you never would have started over like the second, got all the way to 260. This is the magic. This is why this is so important to talk about. Here's my thing. Time doesn't give a fuck about any of us. If I would have chose not to start jiu-jitsu 5 years ago, those same 5 years would have gone by. I would just not have what I have right now. I would not be fortunate to be where I'm at right now with the skill set that I have right now of jiu-jitsu and the other benefits of having trained. Time doesn't give a fuck. People make excuses. Oh, I don't have time. It's not a good, I can't afford it. Or, oh, things are just crazy right now. Time goes, I don't give a fuck. All right, I'm going to pass regardless. Every day we wait to do something is another day closer to death. But every time we play this trial and error game of like, all right, I'll wait. It's not, when we wait, it's not like we're actually waiting and holding still. Excuse me. It's one day closer to death. I think of it this way. We have all been on the highway before driving, and then all of a sudden it comes to a Y in the road. Not a Y, like not a T in the road, but on the highway where it merges away and it splits off and you have to pick a direction. Like you're going 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. And we've all had that moment where like the GPS like froze like right there. And you're just like, God, I don't know which way to go. And so you just go, fuck it. And you just pick a direction because you can't stop. You're going 80 miles an hour. You can't sit on the highway still. You're going to get killed. So what do? You're going 80 miles an hour and you just pick a direction. Well, that's what happens here. Every day that you go, I'm going to start over Monday. You don't actually sit and stay still. You chose the detour. You chose to merge. And then when you're like, I'll wait till the next one, you merge. And every time you do that, you're just going further and further away from your goals. But the problem is time doesn't give a fuck. Time doesn't care. Time goes on and it doesn't matter. I just can't imagine my life if I would have waited 5 years ago. So my question for you is, what if you wouldn't have waited 5 years ago? What if you would have gotten a coach? What if you would have figured this out? What if you would have committed and shown up for yourself and took this seriously? Your life would be totally different. Like there's a lot of things you don't have right now that you would have had. If you want to talk about missing out, think about the memories you missed out on. Think about the experiences. Think about the happiness and the confidence and the easiness off of you, like the heaviness off of you. Like most people I talk to every day, it's like this cloud and this weight is like this weighted vest is on them of the mental bandwidth of losing weight, calories and weight gain and stressed and overwhelmed. Well, you would have had 5 years without that, which means you could have filled that space with memories and experiences and happiness and gratitude and all these amazing things. But instead, it's been 5 years of hell for most people. Again, all I want this to be for you is a wake-up call. All I want this to be is for you to go, wow, he's right. What if I would have gotten my shit together 5 years ago? What if I would have got this figured out? What if I would have done this the right way? What if I would have worked with a coach? What if I would have done whatever? Now, here's the thing. We can't go back and change the past. Like, right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to be able to hop in a time machine and go and make undo bullshit I fucked up 5 years ago or 10 years ago or whatever the case is, but we can't. And sitting here, like playing it out. What if I would have, I would have done this. That's not serving you at this point. So we cannot go and change the last 5 years, but you can change the next 5 right fucking now. You can change the trajectory of the next 5 years and 10 years. You know what? Sorry, my allergies really bother me. One thing I'll say to people who would say aren't taking things as seriously, right? Because I coach people for a living. So for me, part of my role is to have real conversations with people. And a lot of times people who are like, aren't committed to themselves and aren't committed to changing, doing this the right way. And they're like, I think I'll wait and whatever to, start over, whatever, wait till the holidays are over, that kind of thing. Times I'll say to them, I'm like, okay, that's cool. You might need to gain 40 or 50 more pounds. And they look at me, they go, what? And I go, yeah, obviously you're not in enough pain. It doesn't hurt enough. So maybe you just need to gain a little bit more weight before this gets really serious. And they look at me funny, but at the end of the day, we all have our bottom of the barrel, our rock bottom. And that's when so many people have to get down there to make a change. And I just hate to see that happen and it get worse and worse and worse. Cause now that's the hole you got to dig yourself out of. So for you're sitting here hopefully going, man, I wish I would have got my shit together over the last 5 years or taken this more seriously or hired that coach or worked with that person or done this the sustainable way. And we can't go back and change that. But most of you listening to this are going to go continue. Just statistically, you're going to keep doing the same thing you've been doing. And then a year later from now, 3 years, you're going to go, fuck, why am I still like this? Or you'll hear this. Imagine you hear this episode 5 years later and you're like, wow, I'm in the same spot. Now I've wasted 10 years. I see it every day and I hate it. So this is your wake up call. Do this the right way. Commit now. Make the decision to invest in yourself now with your time, with your energy, with your resources, with your bandwidth, with everything that you have to do this the right way to change the next 5 years. It's the only way to do this. Now, let me just throw this out there. If you're listening to this and you're like, fuck, I don't know how. I wish I would have done this the right way. I just don't know how to do this the right way. Or let's say you're in the shoes of you've been doing this the wrong way for so long. It's just you always gravitate to the old familiar, which is doing it the wrong way and sabotaging. Well, if that's you, you should apply for coaching. We have slots open still right now where you could apply for coaching. We'll see about the possibility of us working together. I'll make sure it's a good fit on both sides. So that way everything is good to go. We'll go over options with you and things like that. But if you're sitting here and this resonated and you're like, fuck, I want to change my next 5 years. And I want to make sure it's different. I want to make sure it sticks. And I don't want to be in the same spot I am now that I was in 5 years ago. Hell, most people I talk to, they say, man, I wish I looked like I did 5 years ago when I thought I was fat, or when I thought I was out of shape, or when I thought I was struggling. So I'm telling you, I just want this to be a wake-up call for you. So I hope this is, and for the small handful of you listening that are like, man, I want to make sure and guarantee the next 5 years are different, and I'm not in the same shoes I'm in right now, hit the link below and apply for coaching, and let's change it. And that's what we can do. That is it for today's episode. I know it was a little bit shorter of one, but I wanted to tell the story, and I really wanted this to be a wake-up call for you. Be sure and subscribe to the show wherever you're listening to it on if you haven't already. As always, I'm always here for you. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.